Hello guys, this is Kudo, and today it will be a different video. Today I'm going to share 4 techniques to help you become a better developer. These methods are perfect whether you are a beginner looking to build strong foundation or an experienced coder wanting to refine your approach. So, let's dive into it and let me share some of my knowledge. So, the first thing you might do to increase and help you improve the way you code is making mini project or challenge yourself. When I say challenge yourself, it's like taking on a small, not too big project. Focus on this project is one of the best way to build and reinforce your skill. Mini projects help you apply what you've learned, maybe in a school, maybe with your friend, maybe in a book, to a real life game scenario or any type of project you want to work with. And with this, it will give you a chance to tackle coding challenge and have fun on it. Let me share you one of the examples I made in this YouTube channel. One of the examples I've made was Disney Encyclopedia. Some of you learned from this. So basically, this project on my YouTube channel, if you remember well, it's a little encyclopedia that allow you to basically, when you type like Hercules, Rapunzel, Minnie, or any type of character from Disney, it allows you to retrieve them. So this project was very interesting. Working on this project helped me to improve my skill in API and data management. Also in UI design, I made a video on how I can generalize things for the picture of the character, for example. Also, this project taught me a lot about handling search functionality, connecting data, even architecture, using MVC pattern. By learning all these elements one time, like the APA, the search bar, the database, the architecture, because it's a simple project, very easy, I could learn and I could go deep in each concept without being overwhelmed. So for this first advice, I recommend you to challenge yourself, make a mini project, and more important, finish this project. So you start with this start line and you need to end it, and you will feel very, very, very proud of yourself. And it is very important to be a better developer, because you will face some challenge and you will make a lot of error and a lot of pain. But don't worry, we'll talk about this at the end of the video. So the next point I want to talk about sound maybe extra work, extra thing, maybe it's too much to do, but it's very, very important to do to be a better developer and improve yourself. I'm talking about commenting and make documentation. Why, you ask me? It's very easy. One day, one dev say, only God and me know how this code work. Now, only God know. This is a funny joke with dev people, but that's true. When you will work with a lot of projects and you will work with a lot of people and maybe different projects, you will maybe at this point know how this code work. But maybe in 1 month, even in 1 week, you will forget how this code work. For me, as an example, I have my YouTube channel. Basically, I start making the YouTube video. I started for me because I want to have a documentation and I want to have like a track of what I learn, what I want to know. And with that, I can share with you. So it's a win-win. So in my YouTube channel, each video explains how to create specific function, feature in Unity, breaking down into clear, easy and follow step. This form of documentation that not only help viewer like you, but also keep my work organized and easy reference later on. So maybe in a month or two, I say, oh, but I know how I did it. For example, recently I make a video on how to make submit function in a text input field. I didn't know how to do this before I make the video, but now I know, and I know the code, and the code is already there. So maybe in in another project, I will need to do that. I will need to know how to do that. But because I already did it and I already explained it, I know how it's work. And even if I forget, because sometimes it's happened, I forget how this thing work, I just need to rewatch my video. So in your own code, try adopting the same practice. If you're not working on a project, at a brief comment, explain what each major section does or why you choose this certain approach. For example, if you are creating a game object in Unity, add a comment, explain its role in the game. Alongside comment, consider writing a brief overview at the start of the script to clarify its purpose, maybe a summary for the function if the function is very difficult to understand, or maybe you got some mathematical approach, or maybe you got some very specific code. Good documentation also make you more organized and a professional developer. But again, it might seem a little extra work, but do not forget what I say about forgetting how this code works. So the next one is one I use the most, I think. Maybe the last one is one of the most also I use, but the third one is Doug debugging. A technique that might sound funny, but is incredibly effective. The idea is very simple. Just explain your code line by line to a duck, a plastic duck, or maybe, I don't know, maybe your puppy, maybe your dog, your cat, or anything that can rely on a living thing, basically an inanimate object. And why it's working, you may ask me. Because explaining each line forces you to think critically about every single step, which often help you catch mistake or spot logic error you might have missed. Let me give you a quick example. It's happened to me when I make this tutorial, the tutorial about, again, the API in Disney. So let's say you are working on the Disney Encyclopedia on the search function. You think it's working fine, but some characters aren't showing up. So you go through each line out loud, and you say, okay, this line do this line do that, this query blah blah blah, going for searching character. And each time you explain it this out loud, you understand what you are doing. And at the end, you say, oh, this function access to the character database. But I forget to handle the case sensitive. What happened if I type Rapunzel with all capital letter? So by explaining everything, you may enter to question why it's not working. And by clarifying everything, you will see. This technique clarifies your thought, process, and often uncover hidden bug or improvement, like the case sensitive. I didn't think about that. So this is a very powerful technique, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are using it. And even a best way to use Doug debugging, if you got some friends or coworker, it's by speaking to them directly. Maybe you got some issue on your ticket, or maybe you got some issue with your code. By just asking them, oh, I need to do this, but I don't know how to do that. Just by asking yourself this question, you will maybe answer it by just asking the question, because you already figured it out, because you speak out loud. So definitely try Doug debugging. This is a very powerful and very nice way to improve yourself. So we approach to the last point, and one of my favorite. So the last one might be again crazy for you, but let me give you an example. So when I make the tutorial about Disney character, when I see Rapunzel, Minnie, Simba, Hercules, I'm not seeing them as a Disney character. That sounds maybe crazy, but when I think of something, I start thinking them about classes, object, and method that define each character. This method is called conceptual modeling and object-oriented abstraction. This is about breaking down real-world ID into object and property. In C# and basically in object-oriented programming, we are constantly translating real concept into code. So this is why I'm telling you, when I see Rapunzel, Hercules, Minnie, Simba, I don't see them as a character. I see them as a class, method, function, property. Let's dig into this. So again, I use Rapunzel as an example. When I see Rapunzel, I say, oh, okay, what's her name? Which movie is she from? Does she have a picture? And then I say, okay, so Rapunzel maybe got some movie, got some name, got some picture, but maybe I can apply this to all the character. So I try to centralize every common property or maybe some common thing they got. And I say, oh, but if I make this in common, I can create an abstract character classes that include name, photo, movie as a property. That way, every Disney character could inherit it from it with unique trait. It's make each character an object with shared attribute and unique behavior. So this way of organizing save me time and make coding way easier. And don't get me wrong, it's not just Disney character. Let's take another example. And it's a very nice exercise to do and you can do it every day. Let's say I'm on a street and I see a Porsche. It's a car. But I don't think just it's a car. I say, oh, it's a Porsche. What property you got? Maybe you got some color, maybe you got horsepower, maybe got a speed, maybe you got a fuel, or maybe it's an automatic, maybe it's an SUV, maybe it's a sports car. And I say, okay, so all the car, I can create like an abstract class car with all this property. And even go further, if I see a Porsche and I say, okay, what type of Porsche? Is that a SUV? Is that a limited edition? Is that a 911? Does he got like this equipment? Maybe heating seat, 4-drive wheel? You see, this is how you can see things. Maybe some people just see a car, but I don't see only a car. I see classes. I see everything, my surrounding as a big coding stuff. This sounds maybe weird. The fact that I can conceptualizing thing really helped me to structuring my code, because it's an exercise I do every day, turning real world thing into organized modular object. And trust me, thinking in object changes the way you approach the problem, because you know how to break down things and you know how to think how to solve this problem. So there you have it, this 4 technique. Again, mini project or challenge, comment and make documentation, Doug debugging, and conceptual modeling with object-oriented abstraction are those powerful ways to become a better developer. But don't forget, and let's be real, the journey to becoming a good dev isn't always smooth. I like this philosopher, so let me quote him. So his name is Schopenhauer, and Schopenhauer said, life, and in this case coding, is full of error and struggle. So each bug you will encounter, each error message that seems to mock you, is just a part of the process. Sure, it could be frustrating. You probably want to give up and maybe shut your laptop or even break it because you are not achieve your goal. But every bite of pain is like stepping stone, pushing you closer to become the developer you want to be. The mistake you make and the hour you spend debugging don't hold you back. They'll make you stronger, sharper, and more resilient. In the end, all this pain is a path to the true growth. And that's what transforms you into a great developer. So keep embrace the journey, even if you fail, even if it seems impossible, because at the end, you will succeed. And remember, you need to enjoy this process, because pain is a part of the journey. I hope you will become better developer than me. Not saying I'm the best, but I hope I can help you to grow up. And again, don't quit or don't give up, because it's very difficult. The struggle you will get by making mistake will be rewarded when you succeed. And trust me, I know this. So I hope you learned something, I hope you enjoy this video. So if you like my content, do not hesitate to subscribe and thumb up. And if you like what I did, do not hesitate to buy me coffee. And I guess I see you guys next time. Bye bye.